With us on Skype from London now, Ziya Meral, who is a Senior Associate Fellow at RUSI, the Royal United Services Institute. Nice to have you with us. Tell me about the timing of this happening now. There are thousands of years of history involved with Hagia Sophia, and now in 2020 a push, a nationalist push perhaps, to turn it back into a mosque.
Well, the call to turn it back to a mosque has been with us for decades now, in 60s and 70s, 80s, 90s. It has always been part of this culture war between the more secular aspects of Turkish history versus the more religious and conservative aspects of Turkish history. And Erdogan, as well as the report that rightly mentioned, has stayed out of this by and large, even though he comes from that Islamist movement that actively called for its restoration. Why it would have impact on tourism, it will have impact on Turkey's relations with Western countries. And Erdogan himself has pushed projects on alliance of civilizations, etc. And he's done really good things for Christian minorities. But if you look at the developments, particularly last 2 years, 1 year, even last few months, he has been raising the temperature on culture war questions around LGBTQI rights, engagement on specific sensitivities of his own constituency, because he's struggling to find a narrative to appeal to his voters. Economy is not doing well. Mega projects will likely not to be actualized because the economy is not doing well. Turkish foreign policy is stretched. It's gone some successful operations in Libya. It's stuck in Syria. Its relations with Europe and US is on the shaky ground. And this, on lead up to the anniversary of the coup attempt in July, gives a boost to his political constituency, and it will be welcomed by his voters for sure.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the fact that the AK Party did not do well in the most recent municipal elections. I think the mayor of Istanbul, that position was lost to the AK Party as well. So a perfect opportunity, if you like, to try to win back support.
In fact, I mean, if you look at the celebrations on the anniversary of Ottoman conquering of Istanbul, it was ignored for decades in history, but for the last few years it came back as a large kind of event in social calendars. In fact, even last year, and Erdogan's video was, I think, transferred on Hagia Sophia, etc. And even during the COVID-19 crisis, you have seen that contention between Erdogan in Ankara and the mayor of Istanbul and other opposition mayors who are launching their own social projects to help those who are in need. So there's definitely a battle for a new narrative that Erdogan can put out in lead up to the 100th anniversary of the Turkish Republic, that is in 2023.
Turkey's foreign minister, sorry to interrupt you, I do want to get one more question into you. Turkey's foreign minister says it's a matter of national sovereignty, but also says it's up for the Turkish people to decide. It's got to be about what they want. I mean, Turkey's a big country, it's got a lot of people, and it's got very different political views depending on where you are in parts of the country. I mean, it's not as simple as saying just what the Turkish people want.
I mean, strictly legally speaking, of course he's right. I mean, even now the court case is not really necessary. It only proves maybe the initial decision to convert it to a mosque was not necessarily robust legally, but actually President Erdogan could just do this with a single signature. So this is kind of a political process. But I think the ramifications of this for Turkey and tourism and its relations, and also for its own Christian minorities, is huge. And it is a calculation in Ankara on whether or not the benefits outweighs the challenges that will come. Does Turkey need more challenges with Greece at the moment? Not really, but this is not about Greece. This is primarily about Turkish domestic politics and culture wars. And somehow at this stage, their calculation is this works in their benefit.
It's a really interesting story, and I'm glad we could talk to you about it. Ziya Meral from RUSI in London. Thank you.